Sure. Are we here to talk to him, or are you here to talk to me?
Well, I wasn't sure if, I guess,
No,
yeah, all
no,
right.
I'm not sure.
I will talk to you.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
good
you're,
idea.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, well, my name is Ellen Bradley, ELLEN, BRADLEY, and I am also a constituent of CD3
Great, where do you live?
here in Grand Junction.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would like to say is from the point of view of the Immigration Protection Team, which I have joined since February of this year,
Okay.
but also the impact that the big, beautiful bill would have on immigrants in this community. So Republicans would rather not acknowledge that both the Obama and Biden administrations deported immigrants with criminal records. Obama was called deporter-in-chief. Trump and his cronies would rather mislead the public that they are the first administration to crack down on illegal immigrants with criminal records. My question is, are you willing to stand up to hardliners in Congress who support the Trump administration's massive illegal and inhumane deportation program, which includes immigrants with no criminal records, but instead provide vital services in occupations such as agriculture, construction, food services, health, and geriatric services? Are you willing to confront lies, such as the one insisting immigrants commit violent crimes on a massive scale? Are you willing to publicly state that immigrants contribute to the economy more than they receive in federal assistance? Are you willing to state that immigrants have the right to due process and other First Amendment rights?
Thank you.
I'm Michelle John Jack from Indivisible. Oh, I should take this. And we had an event a couple of days before Congress put that bill through at 1 o'clock in the morning. And so some of these are from before he voted yes, which many of us are very disappointed that he voted yes.
Okay.
So I'm reading one randomly.
Sure.
Representative Hurd, I am a nurse with 45 years of experience. Please do not cut Medicaid, Medicare, public health, and science. Your family and mine will get more illnesses and less care, and that's from Kate, RN.
Thank you.
And I want to echo that as also a nurse, that the attacks on the CDC, the NIH, Medicaid, there's a lot of concern that Medicare cuts are coming through that as well. That leads to more hospital uncompensated care, worse outcomes for patients, higher costs for the community, and it's just overall, the only people it helps is billionaires, and I just don't understand why that helps anyone in CD3. How does that help anyone in CD3? So, thank you.
Sure. Shall I take them?
Yes.
Okay.
I got more.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Okay, so my name's Holly Speaks. I'm from Montrose and Uray County, Indivisible, and we held an event on Tuesday after Representative Hurd voted on the big bad bill, is what we're calling it. We're very disappointed in Representative Hurd. He voted to not hurt his to hurt his constituents is how we feel. Our congressional district is big, as we talked about previously, and he said that this was a start on Medicaid. And, 60% plus of Medicaid recipients already work. And so we're disappointed in that. I have over 60 plus postcards and letters for him.
Okay.
And these people are representing people from our district. And I'm so proud of our members for standing up for people who can't stand up for themselves. So they're ranging in issues from Medicaid, Medicare, protecting public lands. Why do we stick in the bill protecting people who bought gun silencers? We don't understand that. Taking power away from the courts. We didn't understand that either. So one of our biggest issues, though, is I'll read this from one of our members. Her name's Paula Height in Montrose County. Dear Representative Hurd, I'm dismayed that you have not held an in-person town hall meeting since you took office. Your virtual phone meeting was a sorry substitute. How can you possibly know what your constituents stand for? What are our concerns? Your campaign promises fall way short of what I was hoping for. Still, I didn't expect you to fall in line with the Trump administration agenda. From your voting record that you apparently care not all about our health care, education, child care, our cost of living increases, I'm a senior citizen with limited income that depends on Medicare and Social Security. Do you care at all for me? Do you only care for tax cuts for the wealthy or gun silencers? Do you care about caring for our public lands? Are you willing to care about, are you only caring about the highest bidder? I have a lot of questions for you and would care to meet with you. Please do right by your constituents and at least present yourself in person to us. Kind regards, Paula Height from Montrose County.
Great.
Hi, I'm Deborah Cahill. I'm a representative of Immigrant Protection Team also.
Okay, same group?
Same group.
Okay.
I have a message from that perspective, and I have another message, which I won't read fully, from my next door neighbor who's dependent, she and her husband, on Medicaid.
Okay.
That impact of their personal story. So I'll read the one from Immigrant Protection Team. We could be doing something constructive for the people of Colorado and the U.S. with the $65 billion that H.R. 1, the big beautiful bill, has allocated for Homeland Security, specifically for ICE programs. The money will increase deportation of immigrants, damaging families and the community, reducing the workforce, potentially impacting key industries such as agriculture, hospitality, construction industries, to name a few examples. These industries will likely suffer a reduction of economic output due to loss of workforce. The communities will need to repair the damage to families due to loss of financial support and familial network. The economic impact can be calculated. The human impact is often ignored because it's difficult to quantify, yet it's no less important. This $65 billion could be used to strengthen our economy, not destroy it. We need to build, not destroy. What is your economic plan to do that, Representative Hurd, to mitigate the damage? This is from myself, Deborah Cahill, resident of CDP.
Thanks, Deborah. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for sharing that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I also wanted to point out something on the back of these cards.
Okay.
This is from the Get Out the Vote postcard. I had some of these left over.
Okay.
I wanted to remind Representative Hurd, he comes up for re-election. The midterms are coming, November 3rd, 2026.
Great. Thanks for the reminder.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so I have a stack of cards here, but I'll just read two.
Okay.
And I have, one includes a picture, so you guys
Go on.
can see that. So this one here is the face of a Medicaid person, Kara, of Glenwood Springs. She was hit by an out-of-control skier at Sunlight when she was just 5 years old. She was in a coma for 2 months and has many physical and cognitive challenges later on in life. She lives in her own home with Medicaid support through an HCBS waiver. She contributes to the community, pays taxes, volunteers, and tells everyone, do not touch Medicaid. Shame on you, Jeff Hurd. And here's her picture. I'll give you that one. And then I have one. It's a little bit longer, but I think it's an important one. This is from Renee, who is a resident of Garfield County. I am the mother of an adult son with cognitive intellectual disabilities who lives at home with me and relies on Medicaid for his health care needs and for services through the agency Mountain Valley Development Services. Without Medicaid, he would not be able to afford doctors, medication, and the many supports provided by Mountain Valley Development Services, including recreational activities and job coaching for his 3 small part-time jobs. My son works 1 day a week at Sunlight Mountain Resort in the winter, Habitat for Humanity 1 hour a week, and Sandy's Office Supply 1 hour a week. While it may not seem much to you, it provides him with a sense of purpose and a belonging to the community. He gets up every morning and puts on the shirt that matches his job for the day. He is so proud of his work. While my son is just one person, there are many more intellectually disabled people who require services through the agency Mountain Valley Development Services. The agency hires people throughout Garfield County for their group homes, day programs, and people who can live more independent lives with just some checking on them, maybe helping them buy groceries or taking them to medical appointments. 65% of Mountain Valley's funding comes from Medicaid. What will happen to them if this budget is passed? What will happen to all the people that rely on Mountain Valley? My son is lucky because he has a place to live, but many of the people in the group homes won't have a place to live if the funding disappears. And what about the staff? Mountain Valley provides a good chunk of employment throughout Garfield County. The clients need and deserve fully funded programs that teach them, The clients need and deserve fully funded programs that treat them with dignity and respect. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
And I will give you this very large stack as well.
Thank you.
So you've got quite a few here.
Okay, wonderful.
So thank you.
I'm Robert Ricketts. I've resided here in Mesa County for 17 years. I'm a retired emergency doctor.
Thank you.
Welcome. My main thrust is the impairment of medical care that will result as a conscious act on this big bad bill. I don't know how many billionaires there are in your district, probably fewer than Medicare or Medicaid recipients, and I can guarantee you that they do not need to come in here and beg for legislation that benefits the majority of the constituents. They take care of their manipulation at higher levels. I do appreciate you folks being here. It's a hard job, sort of putting lipstick on a pig. And if Representative Hurd were here today, I know you would have hired security, and there would have been guidelines about who can raise their voice or who could stand. And anyway, I appreciate the opportunity to...
I don't understand if Representative Hurd was just plugging his nose and swallowing with this bill. I don't understand how he could justify, from what I understand, the bill has a clause in there that couples with more than $30 million of assets can pass that on tax-free to their children. Were any of his CD3 constituents clamoring for that?
I don't have an answer for that. Yeah.
Fair. But human to human, the voice was probably not as loud as random people showing up at your office on Friday morning. And I saw his interview in the Sentinel, thank you Sentinel people, saying, well, you know, it does these things and it does some wonderful stuff. I don't see how he can do that when the industry itself and Medicaid itself is saying 95 to 108,000 Coloradans are going to get thrown off of Medicaid. I don't understand why he would vote for something that is so awful for his constituency. I don't understand. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't. But
There's some
okay,
differences of opinion.
I am only speaking for me here. I'm only speaking for me. But I just can't understand why someone would take a job that is obviously so hard, so public, get lots of phone calls from people like me that are not very nice at 6 o'clock in the morning, to do something that is against most of their interests. I don't understand that. Anyway, thank you. I'm done.
My question is if, I understand he's got an R behind his name, but wasn't he elected to serve everyone in CD3? Okay, so if most of, 30% of his constituents are on Medicaid, and so he is going to probably face a backlash in 2026 because a lot of his constituents are going to be thrown off of Medicaid. And so I understand it's a nuanced issue, policy is nuanced. But again, this is where the letter that I read was asking for a public town hall, that dialogue. And I understand also he had said he doesn't like public theater, but here we are, we're asking for dialogue with him because we don't understand his reasoning. And so we're asking for what is the reasoning for his vote because of this nuanced issue and because these constituents are going to be hurting. And does that make sense? Do you understand my question? Okay. So can you, do you have an answer as to maybe, what he can do to answer our questions?
Well, we appreciate this.
Uh-huh.
We'll take all of these, and then there's addresses, and we'll respond to them. We're happy that you came in and shared your opinion with it, and that's why we're here, is to escalate that up. We'll share that absolutely with Congressman Hurd in our conversation that we had there today.
Do you have any information or knowledge about how he's thinking about voting next time?
I'm not sure. There's lots of bills coming up, so I'm not sure what you're talking about. Thank you.
Okay.